Here are 13 mistakes tourists continue to make in Switzerland that you don't have to. After years of living here and helping tens of thousands of people travel Switzerland with confidence, we've seen them all and even done a few of them ourselves. No! Are you kidding?
What's wrong?
Just checking the weather for our trip.
When you're on your honeymoon, you're supposed to be madly in love and constantly holding hands. But on our Swiss honeymoon, Brett was obsessing over the weather every morning and every evening. Thankfully, this was the days before smartphones and infinite Wi-Fi, so we just made the most of our time despite the forecast. But the reality is that the weather doesn't always cooperate. You may not be able to see the Matterhorn. You might have rain on the Swiss Riviera, and you might freeze your butt off at a Swiss Christmas market. But do yourself a favor right now by downloading the MeteoSwiss app. Use it to see the temperature and forecast for each destination, and don't overlook the feature that shows how much rain or sun is expected throughout the day. Combine that with mountain webcams, and you're equipped to make the best plans based on the weather. And by the way, it's a good idea to have a backup list of rainy day plans. If you're one of the 10,000 travelers who have already trusted our Swiss travel guides, then you already have access to our recommended rainy day activities in each of our itineraries. I have a feeling that late April is going to be the perfect time to visit Switzerland. Oh, well, at least we can go hiking in the mountains, right? We can spend our time eating?
Switzerland will welcome you with things to see and do 365 days a year. Public transport to cities, towns, and villages where people live year-round is always running, and tourist destinations are nearly always open. But don't overlook the impact of seasonality, because almost all of the mountain trains and cable cars close for significant periods of time in spring or fall for annual maintenance. Some hiking trails are snow-covered from September to June, and closures and crowds due to annual events such as the Montreux Jazz Festival or holidays like Swiss National Day can impact your trip too. Beyond that, opening times might also surprise you. Shops may close earlier than you think. Museums are often not open on Mondays, and restaurants are all over the map. Okay, not just in that way, but with their opening hours too. The takeaway here is to spend 5 minutes double checking opening times and seasonal dates and annual event calendars before your trip. And do not simply rely on the info on Google Maps. We always recommend checking the official websites.
Oh, let's go get some Lindt chocolate. I hear they make the best chocolate in the whole world.
Really? Where'd you hear that?
Ha 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 ha!
Now, this next one is where most people spend the bulk of their precious vacation time. Jungfrau Joch, Matterhorn Glacier Paradise, Mount Pilatus, Lindholm of Chocolate, the Luzerne Lion Monument, Chateau de Chillon. If you've Googled Switzerland, then you've definitely seen most of these spots. But just because something's on the front of a tourism brochure doesn't mean it's the best fit for you. So here's your permission to branch out beyond the most well-known and well-marketed experiences. For example, Gornergrat is pretty popular, but it's still my absolute favorite peak in the entire country. And you've probably never heard of Eschbach, which is our favorite Swiss chocolatier on the outskirts of Lucerne. And trust us when we say that there are endless places in Switzerland that no one is talking about, but totally should be.
Okay, AI, I've got $500 budgeted for my week in Switzerland. Now, I've already spent $300 of it to go paragliding, so I need you to tell me how I can stretch that last $200 for all of my food, lodging, and even my transportation. Okay, this next mistake might just be the most painful to watch. If you're traveling from outside of Europe to reach Switzerland, then you're already spending a pretty penny to get here. And unless you're backpacking or staying with friends, lodging might be the tipping point for your budget. Now that doesn't even factor in the cost of food or public transportation or those scenic train rides or even adventure activities like paragliding. Switzerland is not cheap. Your bank account will surely notice that. And trying to force it to be cheap usually backfires. But that doesn't mean you can't stretch your budget. We have a lot of opinions and money-saving tips, and we've shared many of them in our other videos. Because Switzerland can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be.
I'm so tired from traveling. Are we almost to our hotel yet?
Not actually sure. Haven't booked one yet.
You might be tempted to just book your flights and lodging in advance and then wing the rest when you get here. But that's a foolproof way to waste your time and money, or both, and those are two things that you don't want slipping through your fingers on your Swiss vacation. So instead, make a list of can't-miss activities before your trip. You don't necessarily need this rigid itinerary, but just a list of ideas so that once you're actually here, you can make your plans based on the weather and your energy and just how much time you have. And speaking of time, give Switzerland more than you think. There is just so much to see here. Now, that doesn't mean cram more into your itinerary. Instead, we recommend that you just slow down your pace and really savor those experiences that are can't miss for you. For example, for a 10-day trip, pick 2 or 3 places to explore. And with 2 weeks, maybe you can enjoy up to 4 destinations. As someone with boots on the ground, we don't want to see you making the mistake of doing too much in too little time. I mean, we live here and we still have to remind ourselves of this. Okay, here's our plan for the morning. We have seat reservations on the 9:15 train to Interlaken. Then we switch to a bus. And we cannot miss this bus because I booked a non-refundable jet boat experience on Lake Brienz.
Here's another way to make sure the weather doesn't rain on your Swiss parade. Don't book everything in advance. Your future self will thank you. Reserve your lodging in advance, then just pre-book the things you most want to prioritize, such as scenic train rides like the Glacier Express, some museums such as the Lindt Home of Chocolate, or some ultra-popular experiences like paragliding. For the rest, wait until you're here to make sure you can actually maximize your time. This goes for most gondolas and cable cars, restaurants, and other sightseeing activities. Now hang on, you're probably wondering, but how do I know if XYZ place should be pre-booked or not? If you're following one of our guides, we call this out day by day so you don't have to guess. And as you continue watching our videos, we try to sprinkle those tips in as often as we can.
Hallo, wie komme ich zum Bahnhof?
Babe, we're in the French-speaking part of Switzerland.
Yeah, but I only learned German before this trip.
Everyone in Switzerland speaks German, right? Not quite. Although we live in the German-speaking part of Switzerland, there are actually 4 national languages and therefore 4 language regions. We really recommend that you visit at least 2 of these during your trip to just enhance and enrich your experience. Not only will your ears hear different sounds, but you'll see different architecture, you'll taste different foods, you'll enjoy different tourist experiences, and you'll even feel like you've gone into another country without ever leaving Switzerland. And yes, of course, all 4 of these regions have world-class cheese and chocolate. One more note, you don't really need to worry about this, but it is helpful to know that the language is even more diverse than it appears. So, for example, the Swiss German dialect is different in Zurich from Zermatt and from Interlaken to Brienz. Our hotel is just in a great location in the middle of town. We're surrounded by architecture and culture and food, so different from at home. Oh.
Old Town Zurich or the main street for Interlaken can be great places to stay, but they're not your only options. Instead, you can usually find lodging just a 5 to 10 minute walk or ride away that's more affordable and authentic. But don't just pick a random spot. It's really important to find lodging that's close to a train station or bus stop that has frequent connections and runs early or late enough based on your travel plans. For example, try the Enge or Wollishofen neighborhoods, just a 10-minute tram ride from the Zurich main station, or Wilderswil, which is just a 10-minute bus ride from Interlaken. And this tip is not just about practicality. The more local neighborhoods also have better cafes and restaurants, and you'll get a glimpse of what life in Switzerland is actually like.
Yeah,
Bought us Swiss travel passes and I'm so glad we did. They cover everything. We won't have to buy a single ticket the entire time.
All right, stick with us because this next mistake might save you hundreds of Swiss francs. For 95% of travelers, not buying a Swiss train pass is like throwing your money in the garbage. But it's really important to pick the right pass based on what you actually value: cost savings, convenience, or simplicity. There are more than 20 transportation passes that work in different areas of the country and for different lengths of time. But the one that's best for your budget may not be the most convenient. But don't worry, we break it down for you in our free checklist so you can figure it out in minutes.
Hey Siri, give me driving directions up to Gornergrat. Looks easy enough. Move over, guys! Maybe you'd rather avoid the confusing world of Swiss train passes and just rent a car. And that could be perfect for the right kind of traveler and trip, such as to more remote destinations or even groups of 4 or 5 adults traveling together. But do not underestimate the difficulty of driving in the mountains. Mountain pass roads can be very narrow and winding, and we've seen too many inexperienced drivers squeezing their steering wheel with a death grip. And don't expect to simply drive up to Harderkulm or Mount Rigi, or even mountain villages like Zermatt or Wengen, because all of those places are only accessible by public transportation. No cars allowed. Well, no tourist cars allowed. Some of those car-free villages have a non-stop flow of e-taxis or construction trucks or farm vehicles. So when you're standing in the middle of the road trying to snap a picture in a car-free village, try not to get run over by a car.
The hills are alive with the sound of traffic?
When you think of traveling through Switzerland, you imagine Heidi in the hills or the Von Trapps in the mountains. Although yes, we do know that The Sound of Music was filmed in Austria. But while 70% of this country is mountainous, there's more to Switzerland than just the Alps. The countryside is stunning, which you can admire from one of the many panoramic trains, such as the Golden Pass Express or the Glacier Express. And don't overlook one of the 1,500 sparkling lakes. Our favorites are Lungernsee, Oceanensee, and Engslensee. And we love cruising on Lake Luzerne and Lake Geneva. Then there are the cities. Luzerne is easily our favorite with those wooden bridges and stone walls, but Bern is super pedestrian friendly, and we think Basel has the best Swiss Christmas markets, and Zurich is just loaded with history. So Switzerland isn't just the mountains, it's cities and lakes and trains and food and a whole lot more than most people expect.
All right, now we're prepared for any type of weather. If you're like most travelers to Switzerland, you'll visit cities and mountains, hike some trails, and enjoy a nice dinner. And you'll obviously need a variety of clothing for these activities. But avoid the mistake of overpacking. No one enjoys lugging around giant bags, especially on trains and buses. And I know you probably don't want to do laundry on your trip, but fewer, more functional layers are truly the way to go. We have a free 4-season packing list for you, but I did want to mention one more steak to avoid. I mean, I like steak. Why would I avoid steak? We have a free 4-season packing list for you, but I did want to mention one more mistake to avoid. There is no need to pay 30 Swiss francs at your hotel for a small load of laundry. Invest in some foam laundry detergent sheets and either hand wash in the sink or toss them in at a laundromat. And if you really need to bring more luggage but don't want to haul it around, SBB, the National Rail Company of Switzerland, has various luggage shipment options available. We'll put a link to more info in the description below.
Babe, I'm so nervous. I've never been on a train before. Have you?
It's fine. We got this. I ride the monorail every year at Disney World.
This next one might seem super obvious, but almost every traveler makes this mistake. For our European viewers, you're probably very experienced at riding public transportation and maybe a little bewildered by how many videos we have on our channel about Swiss transportation. But for our non-European audience, the thought of going on so many trains, buses, boats, and cable cars during your trip seems very overwhelming, until you realize it's one of the best systems in the world. If Swiss transportation still feels confusing, we break it down for you step by step in this video. Or you can watch our highly entertaining Tourist Mistakes playlist here, and we'll see you in Switzerland.